So every workplace, and I mean every workplace, faces the same challenge. How do you bring in new technology without everything, just falling apart? Today, we're going to break down a simple but really powerful playbook for making smart tech decisions that give you a real lasting advantage. So let's just dive right in.
Oh man, we have all been there, right? A new piece of software, a new machine, some new gadget comes along and it promises to change everything. It's exciting, it's shiny, it's full of potential, but let's be real, it also feels like a huge, huge risk. And that's because, well, it is.
Think about it. Adopting a new tool without a clear, structured plan isn't a strategy, it's a gamble. You're literally betting your time, your money, and your team's morale on the hope that this new thing is actually going to work. Now, if you get it right, you leap way ahead of the competition. But get it wrong, you're stuck with a very, very expensive paperweight.
Okay, let's make this real. Imagine you run an auto shop and this brand new diagnostic tool for electric vehicles hits the market. The promise is huge. You can now service a whole new class of modern cars, which means higher profits, better service, the whole shebang. But the peril is just as real. It can totally disrupt your current workflow. It comes with all these hidden costs like training, and your most experienced techs might just hate it. So how do you navigate that?
Well, that brings us to the first part of our playbook. And what's kind of funny here is that the first step has absolutely nothing to do with the new tech itself. It's all about looking inward and figuring out exactly where you're starting from.
The very first move is to establish what's called a workplace baseline. Just think of it like a perfect snapshot of how things work right now. How long does a certain job take? What are the exact steps involved? Who does what? You absolutely have to document today's reality before you can even hope to improve it tomorrow.
And the reason this is so critical is simple. If you don't know your starting point, you can never, ever truly measure if you've improved. You might feel like the new tool is faster, but feelings don't convince the people writing the checks. You need proof. A baseline is your anchor. It gives you the hard data to show the investment was actually worth it. Okay, so you've mapped out your current world. You know your starting point. Now you can start looking outward. But with all the noise out there, you've got sales pitches, online reviews, industry buzz. How in the world do you find information you can actually trust?
Well, the key is to be strategic, because each source is good for something different. You want pure, unadulterated technical accuracy? Go straight to the manufacturer's specs. Want to see what's just over the horizon and get an early peek? A trade show is your best bet. But for a deep, unbiased analysis, you gotta check out the technical journals for that crucial independent evaluation. It's all about matching the source to the question you're asking.
So once you have your baseline and you've gathered some reliable info, it is time for part 2, the reality check. This is where the rubber meets the road. We move from dreaming about possibilities to really digging into whether this new tool is a good fit for your workplace.
And this requires a systematic investigation. First, what does this tool actually do? Simple, right? Next, how would that apply to your specific daily tasks? Then, and this one is critical, how will it impact the processes you've already mapped out? And finally, what else do you need to make it work? Because listen, it's never just about the tool itself. It's about the whole ecosystem around it. New software, specialized training, you name it. This whole investigation leads directly to the most important financial tool in your entire playbook, the cost-benefit analysis. And this is not a gut feeling. It's a structured, transparent way to weigh the investment against the potential return, which makes your final decision super clear and easy to defend. So let's put a number on it. Let's go back to that EV diagnostic tool. After you add up the device itself, the software licenses, and the initial training for a couple of your technicians, let's say it comes to a total investment of $15,000. That's the cost side of your analysis. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Look at how we define benefits here. It's not just about the new money you'll make from servicing EVs. A smart analysis also includes stuff like efficiency gains. I mean, what if your techs can diagnose problems 30% faster? And what about the boost in customer satisfaction? Because now you're a one-stop shop. A proper analysis compares the total costs against all of these total projected benefits. So, you've done the analysis and the numbers look good. But a great idea is completely worthless without great execution. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most crucial part of the playbook, turning your decision into a concrete, actionable plan. A great action plan leaves zero room for ambiguity.
It's got to have a clear purpose, the why behind all the work. You need detailed timelines for every single step. You need a final, accurate cost estimate. You need to be crystal clear on who is responsible for what. And all of this has to be documented somewhere, whether it's a simple checklist or a more formal report.
You know, I love this quote because it just gets right to the heart of it. If you present an idea to management without a detailed plan for how to make it happen, you're just wasting everyone's time. The plan is what makes it real. It's what transforms your recommendation from a simple daydream into a serious business proposal.
And really, here's the most important takeaway from all of this. This whole structured process, what it does is it de-risks innovation. It takes the gamble out of adopting new technology and turns it into a smart, strategic move that drives real, measurable progress. And that leaves us with one final thought. Change is always coming. The next new technology is always just around the corner. So the real question isn't if it will arrive, but when. And the only thing you have to ask yourself is this: is your playbook ready